good person.
What
okay.
I'm sure she's a good person. That doesn't change the fact that she threw herself to him.
Why Rob?
No.
Right where we left them, still fighting, this is what we get, and we have the dumbfounded experts who are just standing there like they don't have a clue what to do, almost like they have no business being there. This is the state of everything, and the reality is, at this point, we might as well have a boxing match for Rob and Colt, get it over with, do it like men do, just go, slug it out and then call it a day, but instead, we're gonna just do some ridiculous stuff, dance around the subject matter, have some more drama, and then have another episode or two, because that's the way things are done around here. But it gets even more interesting as we go on. And, no one really comes out unscathed. But before we get to all that, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. I appreciate all the support. Y'all are amazing as usual. Thank you so much. Let's get right into it.
But I gotta be honest, it's really satisfying seeing Jen get called out on her for one.
And you know what? I don't blame Tim either, because the reality is Jen has been causing so many problems left and right. I've called out Cole where it is warranted, but Jen definitely has been one of the biggest problems we have seen. And Tim kind of drew the short straw when it came to all this, although I still argue he should have been expecting it because of the show. But I don't blame him for taking a little bit of taking it all in. Although Rob catching some friendly fire, but he wasn't really trashing Rob. Colt just kind of looked ridiculous jumping in there and kind of going for Elise, defending Elise, and then, going after Jen. He really didn't have a place in it, and he's defending Elise, but she had her own problems. We'll get to what she did before, because they're all making it seem like Elise is innocent, but we know that's not true.
No, that's gaslighting right there. That's what that is. You're gaslighting.
Oh, don't be a punk, Cole, and start talking about gaslighting. The reality is you got involved with a crazy woman who you had no business being involved in, went in deep, decided you're going to act like y'all have been married for 10 years, and now this is what you get. So, you need to accept some of that blame, because what's going on here is you have a crazy woman who really has no business being in any relationship, none at all, and yet for some reason you continue to pursue because you're naive, because you're ignorant, whatever the case may be, you own some of that blame.
I think it's pretty.
Colt sounds ridiculous. Okay, after all of that, the dating coach, fellas, we're going to just put an end to this right now, and it's like, what are you doing here? I mean, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get all the drama out as you go on, but are you trying to sell yourself as a TV career, like as an actor, or are you trying to sell yourself as a dating coach? Because I'm telling you right now, you ain't going to have no new clients with how you acted in this. No intervention, no nothing, no jumping in there and saying nothing, just let them, what you should have done. Look, I argue we should have handled this like men. We should have just gone out. We should have just had ourselves a nice little, we'll call it a boxing match. In reality, we're just gonna, do what we do as men, and then, shake each other's hand, call it a day, and, hang out like nothing ever happened the next day. That's how men handle it. They should. Instead, we're going to sit here, bicker, yell, and the dating coaches aren't going to do anything useful. So, entertaining, sure, but nothing gets resolved.
Well, it sounds like communication is not going well.
Yep. It sounds like honesty is not going well.
Right.
Oh, is that what it sounds like? Honesty and communication are not going well. And yet all of this has been fostered since day one by you idiots. So congratulations for doing exactly what you wanted to do, which was creating some craziness going on and drama, and then trying to say, it seems like y'all need some work on communication and honesty, don't ya? Well, what's the fix if y'all created this problem to begin with, and you have a bunch of dishonest people, so they certainly took to it like a fish to water. But either way, y'all were definitely not part of the solution, big part of the problem.
The guy that was sucking face with Elise on the first day almost banged her on the first day. Then you're gonna tell me that this guy...
So the problem here is what she's basically making it sound like is there's no way that they didn't, sleep together or whatever. True. I mean, obviously your logical conclusion would be like, that's true. I don't know why you care so much, but that would be the logical conclusion. The problem here is you're saying he was sucking face with Elise on the first day. That is also true. However, let's not act like Elise wasn't the one instigating that whole thing. Elise is also trying to run around and act like the victim, like, why on earth do they think it's me? Why did they think it was me sleeping with Rob? I don't know. Maybe it's because you told everyone about certain sexual acts you do, basically everyone in the camp, because they were all talking about it on day one. And then, oh, by the way, you instigated the whole thing with making out with Rob, talking about, I'll show you my butt if you kiss me. So how are you not part of the problem? And why can you not just accept, like, yeah, I would respect you more if you were said, yeah, you know, I could definitely see why they would think it was me, and just move on.
I'm not gonna be on the street looking for any animal that is homeless or.
He's like, I appreciate the fact that you love animals and love to see them and take home strays, but we ain't doing none of that if we end up together, because I see that all the time. And what do? You just let it go. You don't take them home. What are you, crazy lady? Although she might be the type that would take home like a rabid raccoon. She kind of looks like that type. What the? What is happening? If I walked into this, they brought me in the, you know, the wigwam or whatever with all the smoke and blowing conch shells and everything, I'd be like, I think, you know what? I rethought it. I didn't want to do the beer bath, but I rethought it. I think I'm going to go do the beer bath instead. To be like, this is supposed to be an energy cleansing of sorts. I'm just going to go back and sit in the beer and relax.
I cleaned your 3 eyes.
Oh, good. I needed that third eye cleaned for sure. Absolutely.
I cleaned your heart.
Well, you know,
like,
did it work?
What the hell is going on here?
Usman's like, I don't understand this. What on earth is happening right now? What did I walk into? And can we please get like a real date? You know, like a fun one on a boat or something. Instead, we're here cleansing our third eyes and hearts. So fun?
You can marry 1, 2,
Oh,
3,
spicy.
and 4.
Oh, good. We
But
can
if
have up
I
to
happen
4.
To meet the person I love and that person love me, I would love to just have one wife.
Well, I don't necessarily buy that Usman would ever be okay with that, but hey, why not? I think he's like, I'd rather have the 4 wives, but that's a hell. She's like, I regret asking what it's like, but hey, it is what it is. Usman do what Usman want to do, but I think you're gonna be a little overwhelmed with that. But it's funny because it ends up flipping a bit with how he perceives her in just a minute.
If we make it to be like a boyfriend and girlfriend, being bisexual, how do you expect me to have sex with you?
What?
What do you mean?
She's like, what?
Like, is it like the anal?
What on it? You know what I think happened here? I'm pretty sure what happened here is, so she decides to tell him, which she just kind of threw it out there, but all right, that she's bisexual. All right. I think he thought that meant that she was transsexual, you know, and it was something like that, because then he goes into how would we actually be intimate together and throws out certain acts, as you can see on the screen. And she's like, what? So Usman goes on to clarify that where he's from, they're not as open about, you know, sexual stuff and things like that. So making it clear. But yet he definitely had no clue what she was talking about in that moment.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't mean you can just take whatever you want. I just said like limit you.
He's like, all right, well, okay. But then he goes on to say that, all right, I don't think this is for me. I don't think this is going to work out, which who would have thought that? He kind of just threw this out there anyway. The only reason for taking Nikki out, which is kind of messed up, was to make Courtney jealous. That was it. So kind of messed up that he had these ulterior motives and he kind of led Nikki on to go on a date. Although she didn't really feel like looked like she's feeling him anyway. So obviously it wasn't going to work out. But the question is, did it make Courtney jealous? We shall see.
I don't know. What do you think?
And in the effort of trying to name their body beer, if you will, although body beer, there you go, there's a name. How about Body Funk IPA? It could be Body Juice Stout. It could be B.O. Lager. Like that. What are you trying? You gonna name your nasty body beer that you've been soaking in? You know what? I might have respect if one of them just dip a glass in there and start drinking it, just because. Why not? We're already soaking in beer, which, okay, I guess if it's good for your skin, that's what they claim. That's weird. Look, why does she pull it? She kiss him, she turns into a giggly schoolgirl and pulls away. That's interesting. Why is she and then she says that he makes her a little nervous, which is kind of weird that she's acting so immature about this when she was all about on the single life, whenever she was on that and they were over in Italy. She was like, yeah, sure, I'll go with this random Italian guy and spend a few days with him or however long they were together. So kind of weird that she's acting all like reserved now.
That I just feel attacked by everybody.
Yes, and you know what? I have had my criticisms of Cole. Yes, of course. But Jen trying to play the victim when she has set herself up for all this and saying maybe we can talk, have some professional conversations the next day with the dating coaches? Like, I think she really feels like they'd probably back her more than anything anyway, and that's why she's trying to bring them up, because they are worthless. But let's not forget the reasons that Jen has caused all this anyway. The fact that she came in, started attacking Tim. Tim, sure, he said some things to begin with, but she was really the hardliner. Then she wants to play Rob and play Cole at the same time. And she says this tidbit.
Two completely different prospects.
Yes, and?
Like I want to Rob and I want to marry Cole.
And there she has it. She says the quiet part out loud, which is the part that she's trying to act like, oh, I'm being attacked for all this, and then promptly says, yes, I want to do two different things. I want to basically be intimate with Rob, and I'd rather marry Cole. But yet, I want to do a little bit more with Rob before I jump on Cole. So she's playing both of them, and for what end? Just to get whatever she wants, while acting like everyone else is crazy and attacking her. It is the most ridiculous, manipulative crap I think we've seen on... Well, it's not the most. There's been a lot of manipulative stuff. But it's one pretty manipulative situation.
I'm sick of getting slandered that my name... I was sleeping with Rob when Jen was.
Again, I call back to my previous comments of, why would they think that, Elise? Could it possibly be that you had something to do with that? Or is it just everyone else's fault, like you're trying to make it seem like? I mean... Look, I call out Rob, I call out Cole, I call out whoever when they need to be called out. You're not innocent from that. I call out you too, and you are to blame for this image. Why would they think you were sleeping with Rob? I don't know, because it looked like on day one that you were going to sleep with Rob. Trying to make everyone seem like they are out to get you or something when you made this happen is just ridiculous.
Who the is Nikki? But all I know is she's blonde from Florida. Like, I guess he has a type.
Okay, so now all of a sudden she's mad that Usman went on a date with someone else because she just found out that happened because, oh, he didn't ask her and all this stuff. And what she doesn't realize is she's playing right into what he wanted to happen anyway, which is getting mad, getting jealous, and I guess mission accomplished. All right, Usman, your plan was played out to a T.
Courtney, she's super positive about everything, and it's just, she's really easy to talk to and connect with. I'm really just
almost like you're a buddy at this point. I'm pretty damn sure that Colt's been friend zoned, but if there was a possibility that he was not friend zoned, then it makes no sense why he's just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. If you aren't going to ask her out, obviously nothing's going to happen, and you know that Usman's just waiting in the rafters over here. You know that he's been wanting to be with her too, or claiming to want to be with her. So the smart decision would be, look, you might get rejected, but go ask her out. Instead, Colt does not do that. What do you think happens then?
I mean, he was in his swim trunks, I was in my bathing suit, and we were in a bath with bubbles and beer.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And Usman and Nikki were in that.
Oh, my God. So she's talking about their date, and then Courtney can't. And Usman, where was Usman when we were talking about this? Like, it's like, I don't even care what you're saying. I need to know where Usman is. Like, Usman's plan worked better than he probably could have ever imagined.
I'm not going to call it an issue, but I will like some differences with Nikki.
Usman,
differences.
Yeah.
You made Courtney jealous.
It's like, okay, and right in his mind right there, he's like, damn right, mission accomplished. Does a little happy dance in his head. Because, I mean, damn, like, he was just told that everything he wanted to happen happened, which I really don't know why he's pursuing Courtney so hard. Anyway, Courtney made it clear from the beginning, she ain't trying to do nothing but drink and party. That's it. And then yet claim, I want to find somebody. It's kind of ridiculous. But, all right, hey, when your plan works, it works, I guess.
And now, a lady that I've been chasing and begging and pleading with just to pick me.
Look at that.
She's showing me that she's angry. She's so jealous.
Look at the glee on his face when he was saying that. The glee on his face when he's actually telling her about that. Like, it's just a smirk smile. He's like, I did it. I did. He knows exactly what happened. It's not a mad that she's jealous. It's like the plan worked. She's jealous. Now I can go out with her. Although I really don't think she would have said no if he asked her before. It was kind of all pointless. I really think it was more to hedge his bets anyway, rather than make her jealous. The jealousy thing was just a secondary.
Yeah, because I'm sensitive, I'm vulnerable, and I don't need you to have access to that part of me unless
I don't, of all the things Courtney is, I don't think anyone's thinking she has walls up, she's sensitive, and she's vulnerable. From the lady who came in basically trying to make this a frat party and just have fun on vacation, while also saying, but I'd like to find a relationship though. If she could just drink and be just completely blasted on tequila shots the whole time, that's what she would do. And she probably pretty much has. So acting like, oh, I got these walls up, I'm like, I'm pretty sure those walls come down pretty regularly when you're drinking every day.
Enough credit. She's smarter than what people think. Attracts people, and he's a great guy to be around. He's funny, but people don't give Courtney enough credit. She's smarter than what people think.
Yeah, so what he's trying to claim here is that she's smarter than what, people think, and that she's not going to give Usman a second chance or whatever. I don't think he took into account the fact that she is not, in fact, the sharpest knife in the drawer. So let's see how that goes.
You want to go on a date?
Oh, that was...
Ooh, I
she
didn't get
just
rejected.
melted
That's crazy.
So the funny part about this whole situation was, for whatever reason, Colt is feeling completely emboldened. He said something to Jay, who is, the guy that hasn't really had any, screen time. But okay, he said something to him for some reason. And so Jay said back, well, you got rejected by May, sitting right beside him. And then he said, well, you haven't asked anyone out. And then he promptly asked Tiffany out, who said yes. So it's like basically trying to get back at Colt, but maybe he really wanted to go out with Tiffany. Either way, what I don't understand is why Colt is feeling so emboldened right now. It's kind of funny, but it really comes off as staged. Like he's like, I'm just trying to look tough. And maybe it's just because he's got hurt feelings because he keeps getting rejected. But at the same time, Colt is just kind of being ridiculous at this point, and just keep to yourself, Colt. Be the friend. Just be the friend.
Yeah, I've been begging you to ask.
You don't have to beg me.
And there it is. There it is. So he asked her out basically after they have this whole back and forth about why you went out with some other girl. Mission accomplished on his part, I guess. And now she says, yes, of course. So, of course, Colt was proven wrong again because Colt, I don't know what Colt's doing, but Colt needs to just man up, go ask some people out or whatever, do his own thing, stop acting like he's the friend and then thinking that's going to get him somewhere. Obviously, that's not. But either way, Courtney is dumb. Courtney doesn't even want a relationship, really, and here we are again.
But, this man better perform.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to go on a yacht, have champagne,
okay.
have fruit, have tacos,
Okay, so now you got your date, but it can't be good. Well, okay, let's put aside the issues with Usman, which there's plenty. But let's say he does actually try to do a romantic date. What if he just does a dinner, just like, I'm going to spend the evening with you, something nice. We go sit on the beach under the stars, a nice date, but it's not a super high dollar date. That's going to be a deal breaker for you? You say you want yachts and tacos and fruit and all this kind of stuff. Is that only thing you're looking for? Because I got to tell you, I look at you and how you act and everything, and even if someone has the money for that, you ain't got the value for that. Because the reality is you're the one talking about, I just want to party and be drunk and basically be worthless all the time, and yet I still want to be able to go on all these lavish things. Have some more value, actually bring something to the table, and maybe you can actually be in a relationship that works. Instead, you're still doing the same crap. So when it doesn't work out, it's going to be at least partially your fault.
All I can think about is her and Usman ending up together, and it's just killing me on the inside.
Then why didn't you ask her? Like, that's the problem, is you didn't stand up, ask her. Now, I would argue with Colt, my man, all the issues aside with you, Courtney ain't the one, dude. Courtney ain't the one for anyone. But if that's the one you want, you should have asked her.
The only option, and she's going to be done with Cole. So we can go ahead and see about moving this relationship forward.
Dude, what is Rob doing here? Like, she's playing him too. Rob, I don't know what you think is going to happen here and what you can't see, but you're blinded. You're blinded for whatever reason by Jen, who is playing you and is planning on dumping you like tomorrow's garbage after she sleeps with you another time or two. Like, maybe fine if you're cool with that, I guess. But if you actually think it's a long-term relationship and you can't see that she's playing you, the lady ain't exactly subtle with her body language and how she, has her facial expressions and all that. You need to read the room.
What went down very publicly yesterday?
You mean the thing that y'all didn't stop and do anything about and y'all just stood by the side because you have no clue what you're doing and that you just like drama, that's what we're here for. And then you want to act like you're going to pick up the pieces with a therapy session? How are y'all feeling though? Yeah, I would venture to say if anyone goes in to see this lady who is, obviously billed as a dating coach, so she's not a therapist, but they're trying to make it seem like she's doing therapy, and people who would come to her for some sort of therapy session probably are leaving worse off than when they came.
There's these rumors that maybe we were hanging out together.
But that's exactly what happened. That's the funny part about it, is she's again trying to manipulate the situation by saying, yeah, and when we don't go somewhere, then there's all these rumors saying, well, we're together. But you were together. At least it made it seem like y'all were together. Neither one of y'all went to the party, and it showed y'all in your room. So I'm pretty sure y'all were together. And then you're like, how dare they think that? Yes.
Nothing really happened like sexual.
Okay. So you're going to say that, and then you're going to say,
we didn't even kiss.
okay, not only does she say nothing happened sexually, but then she says, we didn't even make out, we didn't even kiss. I mean, she is riding this lie till the wheels fall off. Now, is anyone owed an explanation? No, she can just say, I don't have to tell you nothing. But it's just funny how she's going to the lengths to make it seem like we didn't even kiss. Like, I'm surprised she doesn't say, I didn't even hug the guy, and go one step further, because this is kind of cringeworthy. Just trying the lengths she's going to make it seem like they didn't do anything at all. Not even a touch. Nothing.
Otherwise, that she's not interested or she doesn't want that, is to commit to Jennifer. And if I have to...
Problem with that is that he's saying all that, but she's clearly going to just string you along as long as she possibly can. Cole, listen, again, problems aside with you, read the room. Read the room. I mean, I don't understand how no one can see how manipulative Jen is, how she's just playing the whole system, how she's just playing everyone. And yeah, all the guys have their faults, so I'm not going to lose sleep with, Cole being screwed or Rob being screwed. But at the same time, it's like this one girl is doing all of this, so just drop her. If y'all all drop her, she ain't going to have nothing to be there for anyway. Oh, of course, the ambulance situation. What on earth? What happened?
Who is that? You okay?
And how are they going to string this out?
Are you okay?
They're going to string this out. They're not going to show it. But they're going to string it out until the next time when they finally show it, which, I've been reliably told that it's Colt. I mean, he's not there, so I'm guessing that's probably the case. But, they're just draw out the drama as long as they possibly can. So we'll see what happens with that next week. Apparently, unless they try to draw it out to the end again, which really wouldn't be shocking because they do stuff like that all the time. Clearly, the drama is the main focus here, and it's the main goal of the show because they go to great lengths to keep the drama hot, keep the drama just fanning the flames of that drama. So we see it time and time again, and sure, why not? I mean, let's have it. Just bring it on. I'm here for it. I love talking about it because it's so ridiculous, and everybody is dumb. Everybody's dumb. But we'll see how it all plays out as we go forward. And make sure you're jumping in and seeing those videos. This week, we got the one Monday and Tuesday at 5 a.m. We're also going to have one Wednesday at 5 a.m. and a video most likely will drop Thursday at 5 a.m. So we're probably going to have 4 videos this week. So make sure you be looking out for all of those. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Share with your friends. I appreciate all the support. I will see y'all next time.